Hi and welcome to Outwell and to the Darlington Air from our cruising air collection. You can see here that this is a drive-away awning and it's designed to fit onto vehicles between 1.8 metres and 2.2 metres in height. The material that we're using on this particular drive-away awning is our Outex 3000. This is a good quality taffeta polyester material. All of the seams have been fully taped throughout and it has full PU coating on the inside as well, and that's what gives this a hydrostatic head of 3000 millimetres, so it is completely waterproof. In terms of a frame, with it being from our cruising air collection, you will find that the main part of the drive-away awning is made up from inflatable tubes. So we have two tubes on this tent, each of which have got their own valves for quick inflation and deflation. We do supply the drive-away awning with a pump, which is just like this one here. This is a double action two-way hand pump, so this means that every time you pull the handle up and push the handle down, you are inflating the air into the tubes. And what we would do is also supply the pump with a pressure gauge on top, just here, so you can keep an eye on the pressure when you're inflating it. Now we would recommend inflating this up to 4.5 psi, which is 0.3 bar. So this particular model is made up with our link access zone at the back here, which separates the awning from the vehicle. And you will find here that there are zips on the side, which you can see here, on either side of this area, so you can get access into here without having to go in through the awning. And then the awning itself is a good sealed space, which we'll show you shortly, with this large extended canopy at the front. It also features our aero-effective ventilation on here, so this is the streamlined and sleek ventilation just here. Underneath you will find that there is a strip of mesh material allowing cool fresh air into the awning, just keeping you that little bit more comfortable on warmer days. This can be taken away if it gets too chilly, just simply by removing the Velcro tabs and pressing down like so. We also then use our luminous guy lines throughout the awning as well, so they're nice and easy to spot when it's a little bit darker. And what you will find is that each of these also has its own retainer, so when you come to take the awning down, we can simply wrap up the guy lines and pop them into the retainers, so that the next time you set this up, they're going to be nice and easily accessible. We also have large windows on the sides and on the front here as well, so that's going to allow lots of light into the awning, which you will see, it does make it feel that little bit more spacious. At the front here, as I say, we have this large canopy, and that is in place using one of our Duratec fiberglass poles. So this is a good quality fiberglass pole. It's actually a little bit stronger than your sort of standard black fiberglass poles, because this has a protective sheath around the outside of it, which just, as I say, makes it a little bit stronger and more resilient. So if I just pop round to the front here, I'll just highlight this canopy here. So it's actually quite a good height canopy on here, thanks to that pole that we're using there. So if you're lucky enough for it to be a hot sunny day, then you're certainly going to get a good amount of shade if you decide to sit out here. Or if it is a little bit wet or drizzly, this will give you a good amount of shelter as well. With us having that larger canopy on the front, what that does allow us to do is have a vertical front door on this drive-away awning here. So what that means is as soon as you step in here, you're getting full usable space. So it is head height all the way throughout. The door itself is a D-door style, so you can see that it rolls to the side as we have done here, so that just makes it a little bit easier to access. You can also see that it does have a large window on the front, so even when the door is closed, you'll still get good views from within. Also, though, just rolled away behind that, we do have a full mesh door here. So I did mention the ventilation on the outside, but if it is particularly warm, what you can do is leave the outside door rolled up like this, but then zip closed the mesh door, allowing lots of fresh air, but hopefully keeping out those unwanted bugs. Inside the awning itself, there is a good amount of space in here, a good amount of head height, even though it's a relatively compact sized drive-away awning. I'm quite tall at about 1.95 meters, and you can see I can stand up in here no problem whatsoever. Also then what we have in here is we have these steel bracer bars, which are easily slotted into position once the drive-away is inflated, and then we can tighten these and lock them into place to ensure that this is a good solid freestanding structure if you are using it as a drive-away. So if you're out for a day, you'll know that this is still going to be standing when you come back. As I said there before, then we have these large windows all the way around us, which is really making this feel nice and spacious, even though it is that little bit more sort of compact in size. Now what we can do though, if you want more privacy, is roll up the curtains, because you can see at the bottom here, each window does have its own curtain. We have toggle points halfway up and also at the top, so you can either bring these halfway up or fully close them. And just to highlight here, this is the mesh panel that I talked about from the outside. So a good feature in here also is the fact that we have a fully sealed ground sheet in this area. So it's a good quality double coated polyethylene with a hydrostatic head of 10,000 mil. You can see that it comes up around the edges all the way around here, and that's going to stop drafts from coming in. It's going to stop things like dust, dirt and sand, and again, more importantly, hopefully keep out those unwanted bugs as well. So here at the back of the awning we have the zip door which separates the awning area from the link access stone, and I'll just show you that area now. So the door itself can just be unzipped and then rolled back. We have some toggle points and there's some Velcro at the bottom as well. So in this area what you have is a fully covered area in here, so it's the same material as the awning itself, so totally waterproof. And then at the bottom we have this ground sheet which just tucks in underneath here. It can be pegged at the back and then toggled into the two side panels, and that brings it up against the vehicle to stop any drafts from coming in. Just as a reminder here as well, we do have the two side entrances within this area too. So a great feature of this awning is the versatility in terms of how to fit it to the vehicle. We have quite a few different ways and we'll just talk you through those now. The first and most simplistic way of attaching the awning to the vehicle is actually just by attaching it using the guy line. So all we need to do here is just take the material on top of the van and then take your guy lines across the other side and peg them into position. Next we can connect with the Velcro bands that are already pre-attached onto the back of the awning, and these would just simply wrap around any vehicle that has things like roof bars attached to them, and then of course we can then take the guy lines out the back and peg them into place as well. Next, you can connect this awning using suction cup clamps, which would be sold separately, but we actually do supply the awning with a steel pole that can go through the sleeve at the back, which you can then attach the clamps to and then attach them onto the vehicle. Next, we can then directly attach the awning onto a rail on the side of the van like this here, and that's going to be ideal if you want to leave the vehicle with the awning during your stay. Finally, we then have the optional extras from ourselves, which would be the magnetic band connector, which would just attach onto any vehicle with a magnetic roof. So it easily attaches on there and then just is guyed into position across the back. And we then also have our Outwell Touring Connect set, which is a figure of 8 kit that can attach the awning directly into a rail, which enables the awning to be a drive-away. So in terms of optional extras, we have a few various options for you. So there is a flat woven carpet that you can see in here just now, which just gives a bit of comfort underfoot. There is also then a footprint available to go underneath the ground sheet of this awning, which is going to protect the ground sheet and keep it clean and dry on those wet and muddy days. And of course, we also then have our connecting kits as well, which would work with this particular awning. So there you have it then. That's all the features of the Darlington Air from our Cruising Air collection. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, this tent can be inflated using our Typhoon 12-volt compressor pump.